he's dangerous. He's got dynamite in both fists.
This is a big fight for boxing fans all around the world.
How to exploit Joe's weaknesses and recognise his strengths.
Frank Warren suggested that the winner of this fight will go on.
Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by unbeaten lightweight Josh OReilly. Just arrived in the UK. How you doing?
Good, man. Happy to be here.
And you're here, of course, for anyone who doesn't know, to fight James Tennyson in a WBA title eliminator on December the 4th. Big fight, biggest fight certainly of your career. He's challenged for a world title before, but certainly his biggest fight since stepping up to 135 pounds. How long have you known that this fight was a possibility, and how keen were you to take it when it was presented to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a weird year, right? So I just started messaging loads of people on social media, hoping I could get somebody to get me a fight somewhere, because there's nothing really going on in Canada right now. So yeah, I mean, I messaged James's manager, and he had got back to me and asked me if there's any interest in fighting him. And I knew he had a few guys at lightweight. So, truthfully, like, I was down to fight anybody, man. I was just hoping I could get on somewhere. And he asked me if I was interested in James. I said, of course I'm interested. Then yeah, just kind of been talking about it. I think I messaged him probably in September. So we've been talking about it for a bit, but it's kind of one of those things where I really wasn't sure if anything was going to happen. There's crazy restrictions right now. And I started training hard, and we finally got a deal like set up last week. But I mean, I've been in camp, so it's not like it's not like it was last minute, but I just wasn't sure if it was going to happen or not.
And you talked about the difficulties getting fights at the moment. You've been built up in Canada to 16-0 against gradually increasing level of opposition. But Tennyson's another level to the guys you've been fighting, I think it's fair to say. Not only that, you've had to come over to the UK for the fight. In an ideal world, no pandemic, I'm guessing it would have been a more kind of measured approach rather than jumping into this level and having to cross the ocean to do so. Yeah,
I mean, I would have loved to have fought in the UK anyways. I think this is probably the best place in the world to fight. I would have, I've told my promoter before too, like, it was always my dream to fight over here. I think you guys got the best fans in the world. So yeah, I would have liked to fight here anyways. But of course, yeah, I mean, it's a big jump up. But I think it's time, man. You know, I'm 29 years old. Like, it's a really good opportunity, and I gotta jump at it.
And before you agreed to fight fully, how much did you know about James Tennyson? How much had you watched of him on YouTube and so on?
I've seen him a lot. I actually really enjoy watching him fight. I think he's a pretty fun guy to watch. I think anyone could probably agree to that. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to get in there with the guy. And I've watched him a lot. I know what he brings to the table, and I'm confident I can go in there and beat him.
Where do you feel the advantages lie for you in this fight?
Well, it's definitely not in the power department. I know he's a big hitter, right? But I'm going to have to box smart and be sharp, and I think he'll underestimate my boxing ability. And I think they'll probably really underestimate what I can do with my own power too. I think that he's been hurt before in fights, and I think I can definitely hurt him in this one.
Do you think you'll be the naturally bigger man as well? Obviously, he's come up ultimately from featherweight and stopping at super feather on the way. You've been fighting just over lightweight in the last few years because obviously they haven't been for titles, so you don't have to make the limit. So do you think you'll be the bigger guy in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, we also have like a same day weigh-in in Ontario, where I'm from. So, a lot of times, just so I don't have to cut that last little bit, I'm sure that I will be the bigger guy. I'm taller than him. I'm sure I'm the bigger guy. I don't know how much it'll make a difference, but.
And you said you've been looking forward to fighting in the UK. I'm sure one of the reasons for that is our fans, always passionate, always creating a great atmosphere. But this fight will have, as far as we know at the moment, will have either no fans or not a lot of fans. And rules are changing at the moment. I think 2 days before fight night that you can allow people in up to 1,000 now. But I don't know how
Yeah.
that might be too close to get a large crowd in at short notice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how do you is it kind of a double-edged sword for you? And you love coming to the UK, you really want to fight here, but one of the biggest elements of that is going to be absent.
Yeah, I mean, I think it actually kind of works to my advantage though for this. It's my first fight on a big stage like this, and I think even the crowd behind him is a benefit to him. He's got that crowd hyping him up, and sorry, my phone's going off here.
Sorry.
And he's got the crowd going off behind him, and even for the judges, it's a little bit of a boost. And for me, it's just shit I don't got to worry about. Like, that's my first big step up, and just taking the fans out of it's probably a good thing for me. I'd love to come back here when there is fans. Don't get me wrong, because I think it's a crazy place to fight.
We can't wait for the fans to come back either, but fingers crossed it won't be too much longer. You've come over quite early, obviously. Is that partly a kind of sensible decision on you guys' part to get used to the time zone, but is it also because of the quarantine process and having to get here early to clear that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that they got me here early so I could get adjusted to the time. I think it has more to do with obviously COVID, but I'm happy to be here and get adjusted quicker and a little bit more time to help make the weight and just less stress.
As we talk now, it's just coming up to midday UK time, and you're going to try and stay awake, presumably for the rest of the day to adjust to the time zone.
Yeah.
But you're in isolation, so it's not like you can go out and see the sights to pass the time.
Yeah.
What are your plans for the rest of today and the challenge of kind of staying awake?
Not much, man. Just chill in my room. Not a whole lot to do. I'll probably watch some TV, watch some movies or something. I'll probably try and get a little workout in if I can in here, just something light. But yeah, I mean, just move around a little bit because I find if I sit down on the bed for too long, I'll want to fall asleep.
I was going to say, don't lay down at any point.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about the lightweight division generally, because whoever does win this fight is going to be in a great position, particularly with the WBA. How do you assess the top of the lightweight division at the moment? Because most people expect Teofimo Lopez, who has the majority of the belts right now, to move up. If he does, there'll be a lot of opportunities for vacant titles to be disputed. Are you looking at that and that world scene at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta get through James first. I'm not really looking too far past that. Like that's the biggest challenge I've had in my career yet, and I'm pretty confident I can win. But I gotta go get the job done. No sense looking past it till you do it. That being said, the lightweight division's crazy stacked, man. There's some scary dudes at the weight. So, everyone's killers. It's a really good weight class.
Are there particular fighters at 135 who you'd like to share a ring with, either because their style suits you or because you're fans of theirs and you'd like to cross swords with them?
Yeah, I mean, well, James is one of them, man. Like, I think I've been watching him for years. I think he's always in really good fights. So, yeah, I mean, obviously he's got some things that I have to be careful of as well. But I don't know. I like to fight.
And just tell us, because we hadn't heard loads about you before the fight got announced beyond your record, and I think the fight with Cam McConnell got some interest over here as well. But
Yeah.
how kind of popular are you back home in Canada, and how have you helped build up that fan base?
I definitely got a big fan base, back in my hometown of Hamilton. We're a relatively big city, but I got a pretty good fan base there. Little bit of a fan base, in our province, but it's not huge in Canada. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big boxing scene in Quebec, and it's crazy there, man. Like, I fought there once early in my career, and it was all over there's on like the sports stations and stuff. And we don't get any kind of coverage like that in Ontario. So it's just kind of where you're at in Canada, but I don't know. It's not as big of a sport. Like it's crazy over here.
And just tell us, who are your kind of boxing heroes or role models, people you look up to, maybe you've taken some elements from?
Well, I mean, I got into boxing because of Roy Jones Jr. Like, I wouldn't say I fight like him very much at all, but, I was a small kid, and, I just thought it was crazy watching this guy, this middleweight go up to heavyweight, just demolish dudes. And I don't know, he had a really good flair about him. That was kind of who I got into boxing over, but I don't know. I think I appreciate more of the guys who are like you appreciate some of the guys who aren't as super athletic now that have put in the hard work, and not that those other guys haven't, but you know what I mean. It's different style of fighters. I appreciate the guys who are more, rugged, tough. I appreciate everything, but
And will you be, as you mentioned, Roy Jones Jr., will you be trying to watch your Heroes exhibition fight with Mike Tyson tomorrow night?
I don't know. We're gonna see because I don't know the time difference here, right? It'll be
Yeah, it'll be
it'll be
like
mad.
4 o'clock in the
I
morning.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think I'm gonna try and stay up for it. Especially, I'm trying to get it used to the time, right? So, I'll maybe just watch it the next day. But
I think that's a sensible decision.
yeah,
Just before we let you go, what are your main social media handles so people can get to know you a bit better before the fight?
everything I'm only on Instagram really, but Dubsy O'Reilly. So Dubsy O'Reilly.
What's that from, Dubsy? Where does that come from?
Just a nickname, man. Everyone in the gym started calling me Dubs a long time ago, and just kind of stuck. They used to call me a bunch of other names that I didn't like, so I was like, Dubs kind of works. I don't mind that.
Brilliant. All right. Well, very best of luck for Saturday
Thank you,
night.
man.
Sorry, Friday night. I keep getting confused.
Friday
It's
night,
usually
yeah.
Saturdays in the UK, but yeah, Friday night. And we look forward to the fight. I think it's got all the makings of being a really fan-friendly fight.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the time.
All right. Take care. Speak soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.